What's up, concert addicts? Johnny Kinsvater here with a festival lineup announcement. This one coming from the Impact Music Festival that is in its second year in Bangor, Maine. This year's taking place July 27th and 28th. And let's get right into the lineup because it's a good one. Five Finger Death Punch and Godsmack are your headliners, and I've been talking about them a lot lately. They have been announced for a lot of big festivals, and that is because they are awesome at playing festivals. They headline a lot of these events. They obviously do touring and things like that as well. But they really just they work with the environment and everything that goes on at these rock festivals. I have never seen Godsmack live, but I've seen Five Finger Death Punch a billion times, and most of them are at festivals. And yeah, they have the correct energy, and it's similar to what they bring on their tour, but it's just different for a festival environment, which makes them a good pick. And Godsmack obviously did some pretty heavy touring last year. I don't know what their plans are this year, but we've been seeing them pop up on a lot of festivals. So they might tour, they might just play festivals, who knows, but they just got added to another one, and that's always cool to see. So Saturday, July 27th, headliner Five Finger Death Punch, and Sunday, July 28th, will be Godsmack. Then we'll just break down Friday real quick. We also got In This Moment and Skillet, who both, if you want to watch some of my recent videos on some of the other lineups I've broken down, whether it's Rock USA or Rocklahoma or Domination Mexico, any of those, Skillet and In This Moment have come up because they're obviously doing the festival circuit pretty hard this year. And I think it's great because In This Moment I've never seen, but obviously they have a very powerful presence in the rock music community. They play a lot of big shows, go on tour with a lot of big names. I know they, a couple years ago, did the Dreadlock tour with Korn and fucking Rob Zombie. I slipped my mind. Korn and Rob Zombie. I should have thought of Rob Zombie right when I said Dreadlocks, but I didn't. But nonetheless, yeah, cool to see them popping up on another festival. And obviously this festival is one of the smaller ones, but that's only because it's in its second year, and this is obviously going to keep growing if they keep getting lineups like this. Then we also have Clutch, Between the Buried and Me, and Atreyu, YOB, Memphis Mayfire, and Norma Jean, Dirty Honey, Amigo the Devil, and more to be announced. I won't mention a lot of those because I'm unfamiliar, but Clutch is doing the festival circuit also, like a lot of these bands are. And they put on amazing shows. I saw their performance at Riot Fest in 2014, so it's been a while. But I know a guy who goes to see them every single year, and so obviously that means that at least to him, they're good, and they have a lot of fans like that. And so they will bring people to this festival who might not even stay for Five Finger Death Punch or In This Moment or anything because they're a different style, obviously. But they do have a pretty solid fan base on their own. So that's the other perk of adding a band like this to a festival lineup like this, because I look at this festival lineup, at least for Saturday, and I would be like, oh, Five Finger Death Punch, cool, cool. Oh, and I get to see Clutch. Clutch would be the bonus for me. But there's a lot of diehard Clutch fans that it would be the opposite. They would go to see Clutch and then just see all these other bands for bonus, and having a band on a lineup that has that kind of following is never a bad idea. Then Saturday, obviously headliner Godsmack, mentioned that. But then we're also getting some female power. Saturday, we're doing In This Moment, bringing in the crazy female voices for that. And by crazy, I don't mean that as an insult in any way. It's just a powerful female presence, would have been the better way to say that. Sunday, we're getting Evanescence, who has not appeared much on the festival circuit, at least the ones that I've seen, and they actually haven't appeared much anywhere, really, for at least not around my area. They haven't done a whole lot of touring in the past couple of years coming through here. That's one of my friend's favorite bands, and she hadn't seen him and really wanted to see him, so they ended up driving to Albuquerque this past year just to see Evanescence. So but I know they've played at the Ryman, and they do shows all the time. I'm not saying they've gone away. They've just gone away from my area, and Maine's obviously not in my area. But this festival means that they're entering the festival circuit, and they might already be on some other festivals that I just haven't seen. Nonetheless, that's a great pick, and I'm honestly surprised it's not a headliner, but Godsmack probably wanted to do it, and they're obviously bigger. But any other circumstances, I think they would have been the headliner. Killswitch Engage. I feel like they've popped up on some other lineups I've talked about too, and definitely All That Remains, Buckcherry, and Beartooth have also. Beartooth is one of these bands that's growing pretty rapidly. They toured last year with Bring Me the Horizon, have taken off since they've got a couple songs on the radio, and All That Remains still going strong despite the passing of Ollie. So that's good to see. As unfortunate as it is, it affected them a little bit, and it obviously still affects them on a personal level. But as far as playing shows and touring frequently, they're still doing that. And I love seeing bands that face shit like this still pop up on big festivals or tour announcements, whatever. It's cool to see them not stopping. Bring it to the country world for a sec. When Montgomery Gentry continued to tour, just as Eddie Montgomery after Troy Gentry died, same kind of thing. We Came as Romans picked up really quick last year after their singer died. And so it can work, it can do it. It's obviously not easy, but that's one of the most important things you can do is just keep going, because the Lost obviously wouldn't want you to stop and end your whole life because they're no longer with us. So it's kind of honoring him in a way. And obviously, this is another big festival, and it's a newer festival. This is in their second year, and All That Remains has been one of those bands that plays new festivals. They play the circuit too. Obviously, the big ones: Rock USA, Rocklahoma, Rock on the Range, even though it's called something else now. But they also played Moonstock a couple years ago, which was a one-year, first-time thing. And now they're playing this. So good on them. Love to see them going strong. We also got Fever 333, Crown Lands, Andrew WK, Joyce Wolf, Doob, Mammoth Thor, and more bands to be announced. So that's the lineup as of now. We probably won't get any more big names. I do want to talk real quick, though, about why this festival is so awesome. It actually is a whole suicide prevention thing, which is amazing, especially to me, because if you go to my website and read my bio, that is why I do this. The whole idea behind Concert Addiction is giving me a distraction, letting me talk about things I like to talk about, bringing me to a happy place pretty much, because that's what music does for me. So there's a music festival that you could go to that, I would go to because it would help me, but at the same time, it's helping other people because the proceeds go. Last year, they raised $25,000. I just think depression, especially in young people, and it seems people who listen to heavier style rock music, they just get affected by this more. And it's something that's not talked about enough. So to have another, because there's a couple others that do this, so to have another full festival dedicated to this kind of thing, I think it's amazing, because I think it's one of these things that's not talked about enough, and it's not exclusive to the rock heavy metal world. I don't want to be disrespectful in any way like that, because obviously depression is not picky. It's going to mess with you if you're a country fan or a pop fan. Anybody can. I just know that in my life, the people that I've lost and other people I know who have suffered from it have just coincidentally all been fans of this style of music. And regardless of the correlation, some people say, that's obviously a negative connotation. That's the cause of it. I don't believe any of that bullshit. I just think that going to concerts helps with depression, at least for me. And with this festival, you get a double whammy, because you get to see Five Finger Death Punch, who, if you can't tell, I'm a big fan of. And at the same time, you're helping other people who are struggling. I think it's fantastic. So Impact Festival, if I had the money to get out to Maine, I totally would, because I think this is great, and I love it. And I hope that this year's as big of a success as last year, so we get year 3 and year 4 and year 5, and this just goes on and joins the league, joins the main festival circuit. And one day we're going to be talking about this lineup, just like we talk about the Rocklahoma lineup, or, in the past, the Rock on the Range lineup. It's going to be a major rock festival, I hope. I really hope, because I think this is a great idea and a great thing going on. And they got some good bands coming in on it, too. And Ivan Moody from Five Finger Death Punch has dealt with some of these depression issues and things like this, too. So for them to be playing this event, awesome. All across the board. I will post a link in the description where you can find ticket information and the full lineup, and keep your eye there when they announce the rest of the lineup. Though, like I said, I think we got all the key acts out of the way now. But, yeah, Impact Festival, July 27th and 28th in Bangor, Maine. Bangor, Maine. Fuck, I can't talk. This is the last video I'm doing tonight. Make sure to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. And also check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/Concert Addiction. And thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye.